point today is how to learn and understand new information. We have three levels of understanding: mental, physical, and emotional. As an example, if you had never seen an apple before, I could tell you the apple is green, that an apple is round, that you can cut it, that is generally white inside, that it grows on a tree, but you still do not understand what an apple is. I may show you an apple. Now you have a little better understanding, but you still don't know really what an apple is. If you hold the apple and you start using your senses, so if I touch it, if I smell it, and if I eat it, then I can really understand what an apple is. So the information you will receive on this video, you must first of all understand here. You must then practice your exercises so that your body understands. You then need to taste, smell, touch those movements, and only then you really understand. So you will need to watch the video 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You will need to practice the exercises until you create a taste for the movements, so that then your emotional understanding will control what you do. So, my darling, would you like a taste of an apple?
Sure.
In life, the path to happiness is found in balance. In dancing, the path to happiness and to excellence is found in balance. Therefore, today we will discuss the understanding of personal balance and balance of the couple. But before we go into details, mechanical details of how we can achieve this balance, we need to understand what is balance. Balance is a weight fall without side load. I will repeat this because this is very important. It's a weight fall without side load. So as an example, if we take a tennis ball and we allow this to fall vertically, as you can see, this will have a vertical weight fall. Now, that same feeling we must find in our body. There is no resistance, and there is no angle in the way this weight falls. Therefore, from now on, any time on this video I discuss balance, you must think vertical weight fall. Now, if we relate that to our body, we must first of all understand that there are 2 parts, lower part, upper part. Our lower part works the same way as a table works. So if we put a weight on a table, that weight wants to fall down and the legs are supporting upwards. This is the normal way we naturally carry our body. Later we will understand more in details how we can find an exact vertical weight fall also through the leg action. But the part that is most important and that is very often misunderstood is the way we carry our body weight on the upper part of the body. We carry our weight in a counter-lever system. The easiest way I can explain this is if we take, as an example, a shelf. The shelf has no legs, but is sustained by the bracket that is attached to the wall. This bracket, that is normally an L shape, is what is sustaining the weight that we put on the shelf. So I now need to feel in my spine the weight falling through it, and the spine carrying therefore the weight of my head, the weight of my shoulders, the weight of my rib cage, and the weight of my hips. Therefore, I want no feeling of my weight being carried upwards by using the front muscles of my body, because this is the same as if I hold the ball in my hand and I don't allow it to fall. So for this ball to fall, I have to let go of the tension in my body. Therefore, I need to allow the front of my body to relax in order for the spine to carry my weight. So if we look at the side view of my body, I do not want to carry my head from the front muscles, but I want to carry my head weight by using the positioning of my spine, the repositioning of my spine, and again leaving the head weight to fall through my spine. The same goes for my shoulders, the same goes for my rib cage, and the same goes for my hips. Therefore, in the way I carry my weight, I feel very posterior in my body. So as I find my correct posture, I am not aware of my body, but I am aware of finding that correct vertical weight fall through my spine. So in general, I believe this is a different approach to posture, where the general approach is to use muscles to connect the body. My guidance, what is telling me if I have a good posture or a bad posture, is my awareness of weight fall. So we said balance is a vertical weight fall with no side load. We said that the feeling through the spine is for the weight to be very posterior, to fall like water through my spine. Therefore, now I will allow my body to adjust and to modify for me to find that weight fall with no tension in my body. So I want to feel, again, side view. I want to feel the weight falling through my spine. Entering my hip joint. And positioning the weight from my hip joint to my ankle. So in this way, I allow my structure, my bone structure, to carry my weight. I repeat, I allow the bone structure, and therefore not the muscles, to carry my body weight. So I have generally a very clear feel of hanging, my body hanging, all the joints being free, all the muscles being as relaxed as possible, because balance is a vertical weight fall. Now earlier I mentioned about side load in the body. What do I mean by side load? If my weight is not falling vertically, but is falling at an angle, either forward angle or backward angle or right angle or left angle, I create a side load. We are in Italy, so why not mention the Tower of Pisa? So if you visualize the Tower of Pisa, the part of the ground where the tower is leaning will need much more power, and it's always under stress to sustain the tower wanting to fall. Therefore, at home, if you're practicing this and you're shifting your weight slightly to your toe, you should feel that the thighs and the feet are now engaging in order for you not to fall. The same happens if I'm standing too far to the right. Now I feel the right thigh, my right side, and again my foot are holding on in order for me not to fall. If I do start with a side load, or I dance with a side load, those muscles that have to engage cannot respond in a coordinated way to the rest of my body. This is why the understanding and the awareness of a vertical weight fall is very important, because only if I am totally vertical through my weight, my body can now be totally free to move in every direction. So what I would like you to do, I would like you now to actually pause this video, stand up, and try to find and to experience that vertical weight fall. Now, once you have experienced this, and once you are aware of this very stable, very grounded, very powerful position, I want you now to understand that we must separate our body weight position from our body movement. Therefore, we do not want to move our body and our weight at the same time. And in the same way. Because this would be a constant readjusting from one side load to another side load, to another side load. Therefore, what we will see now is exercises that I would like you to practice in order to separate the weight position from the body action. So, these exercises are based on a very simple concept: counter rotation. What does this mean? This means if I have only one tennis ball in my hand and I rotate this tennis ball, as you can see, especially from a side view, as the ball is now rotating, my weight position is changing on my foot. Therefore, I go from a front side load to a back side load. The same goes if we are discussing about sway. If I do a sway to my left, now I have a left side load. If I do a sway to the right, and as you can see, I'm rotating the ball as I'm doing this. I also now have a side load. So please just follow me for 1 second while I get a second ball. If we now go to the concept of counter rotation, and instead of only creating a rotation with one ball, we are creating a double rotation. So now, as you can see, we have a double movement which neutralizes itself because it's the exact opposite. I can apply now this in this manner. I can apply it in this manner. I can apply it in this manner. I can apply it in this manner. Therefore, when you are learning about these movements, you always have to find a counter rotation in your body. Counter rotation within which part of the body? Within your joints. Therefore, if we first of all visualize one ball, one big sphere, so not a tennis ball, but bigger, more like a football, and we place one on our upper spine, and we place one on our lower spine. So now we have upper spine, lower spine, which are going to counter-rotate through the movement. This is the first basic movement that your body should do in order to separate your balance position to your moving position, to your body moving. So let's try this. So first of all, let's find the vertical weight fall through the spine. So we are relaxing our muscles. We are allowing the weight to fall through the spine. We now connect hip joint to ankle. We keep our feet apart. We find that very relaxed, nearly meditation mode position, where everything feels relaxed but powerful. Now from this position we visualize the football in the upper part of the spine and the one in the lower part of the spine. And we start to create a counter rotation. This is your first movement that you must practice. When you're practicing this movement, please do not try already to think how this will work in your dancing. Because it will not only be this movement, it will not be only the next movement we will show or the next, but it will be a combination of all these movements that will create a beautiful line and a beautiful shape and all the things you wish to have in dance. Therefore, while you see these exercises, do not close your mind, but keep your mind open. Apply them, and you will find the true benefit from understanding how to separate weight position to body action. So let's try this one more time. We are finding our weight position. We're letting the weight fall through the hip joint to my ankle. I'll show you the side view again. You can see I'm very posterior in my weight fall. Now from here, This is the first movement. So we are rotating and counter-rotating at the same time. As I do this exercise, I do not want to shift my weight forward or backwards, but I want to center my weight and keep my weight perfectly still as my body is moving. So when you practice these exercises, you must be totally aware of your weight position. So you should practice them slowly, not for too long, in order to keep the concentration and the awareness of weight. So let's move now to the second exercise, which is the lateral plane. So we have now done the frontal plane, and we are now moving to the lateral plane or sway plane. Again, let's visualize the two spheres, upper body, lower body. And now create a counter rotation in a lateral manner. Once again, as I said before, do not try to guess now how you're going to apply this exercise and this movement to your dancing. It will come in naturally, and it will not look as strange as it does when you're practicing it at a separate exercise. So once again, we are centering our weight position. We are feeling the weight going through our hips to our ankles, and we are now creating a lateral movement. Again, we are allowing the joints to be free. We are not using the muscles to create these movements. We are flowing the movement through our joints. As you can see, my weight is not shifting as I do these movements. When you practice this, it is good for you to practice in front of a mirror, looking at yourself straight in your eyes, so that the head does not change position as you do it. So, frontal plane, lateral plane. Now let's talk about rotation. Generally, rotation is also used over one movement only. Now, to simplify things, at the moment, I will give you a very easy exercise you can practice for rotation, which will only relate to our shoulders. Now, if I try to rotate my shoulders in this manner, I am actually turning the whole body, the trunk of my body, my spine, everything's turning in one piece, and this is no good. So now I visualize two spheres, one on my right shoulder, one on my left shoulder, and they also now create a counter rotation. The shoulders and shoulder blades are now counter-rotating in order to keep the balance still. Okay, now just to give you an idea of the result of this, if I chose to do a promenade position, and therefore I now applied frontal plane, lateral plane, and the rotary plane. This would create a very acceptable promenade position. Nothing strange about it. Why? Because I'm now starting to combine three planes of movement. Please do not worry if you don't yet understand fully the exercises. In a very short while, all my team will join me to show you the exercises. But before that, one more movement which is very important. And this is related to our hip joint. So I now would like you to visualize one sphere on your right hip joint and one sphere on your left hip joint. Generally, the tendency is to rotate both in the same direction. Of course, it's very clear now to see how much side load I have. The same goes for the backwards movement. Now, if I want to truly have a free leg able to swing in my movement, I need to feel the counter rotation in my hip joints too. So I'm now going to create a counter rotation through my hips. If I show you now this movement sideways, the non-correct movement would be something like this. The correct movement would allow me to keep my vertical weight fall. The same if I move backwards, it would allow me to keep a vertical weight fall. So now you can see my free leg is swinging, but my balance is not affected. Once you manage to master one sphere, two spheres, three spheres, 4, 5, and 6, you can now start to move your body in a very fluid way without affecting your balance position unless you wish to. With a true balance, you will be able to be stronger, more powerful, more free, and this will give you the total freedom of expression in relationship to music. But now let's bring in my team of friends and great dancers, which will present for you these exercises once again.
Hey, where's the brass? Hey, we got no brass today. Come on, you got brass once, give me brass. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's now welcome the team that will show you the 4 following exercises. First exercise will be frontal plane. Second exercise, lateral plane. Third exercise, counter rotation of shoulders. And the fourth exercise, counter rotation of hips. Okay, let's settle the weight, please. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and thank you very much. And relax. Let's now move to the second exercise, please. Let's settle the weight. Are we ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and thank you very much. Relax. Let's move on to the third exercise, please. Let's settle the weight. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you very much. And relax. We are now moving to the final exercise. Let's settle the weight on one foot, please. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Thank you very much. Back to central position. Over to the other foot. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Thank you very much. Back to central position, relax. Now that you have an understanding and you have seen the exercises executed from our team, I would like you to practice them and separate with music and without music. I will once again stress the importance of practicing these exercises slowly with the full awareness of the weight position. So now you should have a good understanding of what is balance. You should have a good understanding of how you can move your body without changing your balance position. Now we're going to move on to the next point, which is how can we keep our vertical weight fall while changing weight. In this, the activity in our spine plays a very important role. So when I'm standing centered between my 2 feet, my spine and my weight fall are in the same position. If I wish to transfer weight to 1 foot, the easy mistake is to create a side load. Because of the desire to keep a posture. So we are trying to keep the body still and weight changing. This is not correct. So I need to have a very oily spine in order for me to transfer weight from 1 foot to the next without losing the verticality of my weight fall. Now, once again, this movement can look strange once applied in a single way. But I guarantee you that once again, combined with all the other movements, it will just look perfect. So how can we mechanically make sure that this works? Upper sphere, lower sphere. Therefore, the same 2 spheres we are using for frontal plane and for lateral plane. The lower sphere has always to move away from the foot we wish to stand on. Therefore, if I'm transferring my weight from right foot to left foot, my lower sphere will rotate and move away from my receiving foot. As you can see from this movement, now I can achieve a vertical weight fall from my head to my foot. Now, this movement must happen every single time we change weight from 1 foot to the next. Therefore, I now want you to be aware of 3 positions: central position, right foot position, left foot position. These are your 3 clear positions you must become aware during any step you are dancing. The more you develop this, the more not only will you be aware of 1, 2, and 3, but you will become aware of every single moment in which the weight is transferring from 1 foot to the next. Therefore, when I create a step and change weight, I can now control my balance and every single moment of that change, instead of being able to control my balance on my left foot and then on my right foot. Of course, on the video dedicated to the balance of movement, more of this information will be joined and you will have a better understanding of the overall usage of the body. So for the moment, I just would like you to practice this very simple exercise. Feet are open, we settle the weight. We still find that vertical weight fall that we discussed earlier. We are now transferring weight, still finding the vertical weight fall. Then going back to the other foot. As you can see, the upper sphere and lower sphere are now moving away from each other with a slight rotation, so that overall my shoulders are still in line with the floor. What do I feel as I transfer weight? I feel the total control of my weight change with no side load. When we now change weight while we are stepping, we need to understand that we have to use the same mechanics that we are using to transfer from right to left and from left to right. So I will not just walk forward or backwards, but every step will be a combination of a forward and side movement. I repeat that because that's another key point. It's a forward and side movement. So if I'm standing on the middle of my feet with the balance on the center, the first movement is a side movement. Now I have free leg. Earlier we understood how to use the two hip joints. Once I create the step, my weight is now transferring forward and moving to the center. So at this moment in time, I am centered in both planes, frontally and also sideways. Once I'm in the central position, now I have to arrive on my other foot and therefore continue the movement sideways. So I'm now moving forward and to the right. So I can feel again vertical weight fall. Then I can place my left foot, center myself on both planes, and transfer to my left foot. The more you become aware of this movement, the faster you can create this walk, which looks, I agree, very strange. But you can see that my weight fall is constantly in control and vertical. Yes. Therefore, it doesn't matter if I'm dancing a feather step, two walks in tango, a natural turn in waltz, any step. And all I can do is transfer from one foot to the next foot. As I stated earlier, once I combine this movement with everything else, you will not see this movement. So if I transfer from one foot to the next foot, you do not see this movement anymore. All you see is a powerful weight transfer from one foot to the next. So the feel is I am not at any moment concerned with my spinal position, but I am always totally aware of my vertical weight fall. So, small example, promenade position. And let's combine now all the exercises. So first of all, where is my balance on my right foot? Do I want to create volume? Yes. Do I want to create sway? Yes. Do I want to create a shoulder rotation? Yes. The result will look, of course, just normal. The difference is I am now not holding my body in position. I am not artificially creating nice lines. I am in fact totally aware of coordinating my body and every single joint in my bone structure around a very strong, stable, and powerful vertical weight fall. Anyway, our team will soon join us again, and they will show you this exercise as we did earlier. Are we ready? And left foot in position, central position, receive weight on left foot. Right foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive and stop. Foot is already in position, central position, receive on right foot. Foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive. Foot in position, central position, receive, and prepare for twist turn. And let's turn.
Hey, where's the press? Hey, we got no press today. Come on, you got press once, give me press. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
It is now time to move on to the second subject of this video, which is balance of the couple. Of course, the first subject is the number one priority because without personal balance, we have no chance to find balance of the couple. So, of course, we will speak in depth regarding the communication between a man and woman on one of the other videos. But now we will discuss mechanically how we can become aware of a center between the man and the lady. So if we now introduce Lorraine, already at this moment, we have a center between us. Lorraine and I can choose to ignore this center, or we can choose to be aware of this center. If we choose to be aware of it, we are already interrelated with each other. This means that we can already communicate and we can already create a balance of the couple. So if we visualize a center between us, we can now move away from the center. We can move closer to the center. I can choose to move the center. But we are keeping a balance between the couple. So, this is very, very important, especially for the men to understand. Because as men and as leaders, we are used to think that we are the center. This, of course, means that once we are connected to each other, anytime we create a movement, we push the lady out of balance. So I have to be aware of my own personal weight fall. Lorraine must be aware of her personal weight fall. We now also must be aware of our weight fall as a couple. And that also must remain constantly vertical. So the biggest change would come when you, for example, create a big volume. General approach, man is center. So if we take the promenade as an example again, man is moving forward, lady is moving back, the couple is out of balance. So if I show that one more time, the man is normally trying to lead the lady to create a volume by moving his weight forward. What we need to do, if we are aware of this vertical weight fall between us, the more volume I want from Lorraine, the more I must create in my direction. So as you can see, the more I want Lorraine backwards on balance, of course, the more I must move backwards on balance. From this position, I think it's very clear that if you visualize a line between the two bodies, that weight line is falling vertically. If I do something like this, you can see now between my weight fall and Lorraine weight fall, the line of the couple is out of balance because it's not vertical. So how do I feel this vertical weight fall of the couple? Of course, as anything that is related to weight, we cannot think about it. We need to use our senses. We need to feel. Therefore, after feeling my own weight fall, and after that Lorraine feels her own weight fall, even before we touch, I need to feel a relationship between us. Now, as we touch, I now also become aware of the weight of the couple. Therefore, ladies, do not try to be light. First of all, because you would not have a vertical weight for your own personal balance. And secondly, because the man would then not be able to feel the weight of his partner. So heavy on balance is good. So when we feel heaviness, when the man says to the lady, you are heavy, what he really means is that there is no vertical weight fall. As long as we have a vertical weight fall, Lauren will never be heavy for me. But we feel each other's weight. So that now we can move and shape in a relationship to the balance of the couple. We can call the balance of the couple core. We can call it center. The important thing is that you are not relating this as a point in the body. You must relate it to the center of the weight of the couple. So, we don't need contact in the body to have a core. I can now choose to move my body, and Lorraine will respond but the core is not moving. We are both dancing in relationship to that core. I can now choose to change my position. The core is still centered between us. I can then choose to move the core, choose to keep the core and create a shape. But we are constantly both totally aware of where that weight balance is. My hands, my fingertips, Lorraine fingertips, are truly related, and they are truly feeling where that center is. So as I take position, my arms are not related to me. I am aware of a certain space, of course, but my fingertips are related to my partner. Lorraine fingertips are also monitoring where is the center of the couple. So, for example, if we take a feather step in very soft hold, if I visualize myself as the center of the couple, as I create the activity in my body, I will now push Lorraine out of balance. Or, of course, choose to use muscles to stop the couple from falling out of balance. Of course, this creates a side load that we do not wish to have. Therefore, if I now do a feather step and I am aware of the balance of the couple, we are now keeping the center of the couple between us. I will now create my action in my space. Lorraine will respond on the other side. But again, you can see that the center of the couple is not moving, but it remains centered between us. So, am I using my center to lead? Definitely not. Is Lorraine using the center to follow? Definitely not. This is why we have all these movements we have discussed earlier, so that we can choose to keep the balance still and move the body. So also in this position, I am not moving Lorraine. I'm feeling where the center of the couple is.
Yes.
Now we are both relating to that. And now a very simple exercise you can do in your studios or in your homes. This will help you to understand more all the explanation we gave you earlier. So all you need is a Pilates ball or any object you can place on the center of a room. You can relate each other to the ball to create a center, and you can ask some friends to join you. Now we are all relating to a center, which in this case, of course, is the Pilates ball. I will now move in command, and everyone will respond to me, but always in relationship to our center. So we can choose to go closer to our center, or move away from the center, walk around it, change the direction of movement, walk closer to the center, away from the center. We can choose to spin, walk, once again change the direction. We are still all relating to the center. We can decide to cross over. And stop. We can decide to walk. Cross over once again. Or walk to our left. Or change our direction. And stop. So, as you can see, this is a very simple exercise you can practice with your friends in order to create a better awareness of center. So, ladies and gentlemen, you now have many information regarding personal balance and balance of the couple. Remember, there are 3 levels of understanding: mental, physical, and emotional. Can you taste the apple yet?
In your face, that old man time. Let me do that, let me do that. Hey, where's the brass? Hey, we got no brass today. Come on, you got brass ones, give me brass. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, chapter number